So you leave Joram Gardens and Athelstan's home behind. Once back in the main part of the city, asking around, you are told that the Fool's Errand is on the south side of Glazenick Square. So following the signs, you make your way. By this time, shadows have begun to lengthen as the sun dips below the horizon. When you reach the square, the crowds that had packed the city a few hours earlier have all but disappeared. You see an old wooden sign hanging from an iron post that reads "The Fool's Errand."
So I think people enjoy tabletop gaming because anybody my age in their 20s that grew up in the 90s, we remember having all of our friends together and playing, like a Nintendo, and you'd have all the controllers, and there's a human interaction element to it. And tabletop games were what people did before video games were really a mainstream thing. And so I guess a lot of people have that nostalgia of where it's that throwback to their childhood of all their friends come over for a game night, and you all have like that common theme that you're all playing the same game together, whether it's against each other or with each other. And so I think everybody is just kind of longing for that interaction, that human interaction that's just really gone away when it comes to hobbies or gaming in general. I first got into this as a hobby. A few years ago, I stumbled across a YouTube channel where a guy builds and paints these hyper-realistic terrain pieces out of cardboard, and I just thought to myself, I can do that. And I started just kind of building things. I bought all the supplies, and I guess it just naturally flowed into painting miniatures, and I started just obsessively collecting all of these pieces. And I'd never even played Dungeons and Dragons. It was almost like it started as a way of just keeping my hands busy. And I guess I naturally was like, well, maybe I should use these things, and just kind of started from there. Anytime when I am building or painting any of the pieces that I do with miniatures, it'll take a few hours a night for about a week, because the trick is you have to wait for paint to dry. So one night I'll do a layer, and then the next night I'll do another layer. So what I usually do is I'll do about a dozen or so throughout a week, rather than do one a week, because either way I'm going to have to wait a day. And anytime when I'm building a set piece or a terrain piece, I've had commission pieces that took me a month to build. I've had some that I can build in a night. It really is just going to depend on more of scale on those, because it's all about how much area you have to cover. My favorite part of playing Dungeons and Dragons is the amount of creative output that it allows anybody who plays. I mean, I could come in and I could make some off-the-wall thing, and I mean, there are books and books and books on the different sets of rules that you have to follow to build things. So you can make anything you want, as specific as you want, as vague as you want. And no two games are going to be the same, no two characters are going to be the same, and there's a lot of improv involved. So if you're the kind of person that likes, improv, if you like to laugh, if you like the human interaction element, if you like being creative, it's a fantastic outlet and a great hobby that I highly recommend to everybody.